Mulgrave by-election. This
yeah.
is down in Victoria. This was the seat of Dan Andrews. So Dan Andrews has gone off, tried to join a golf club and they wouldn't have him or something. But tell us about it, Rita.
Yes, the golf club is a delicious story in itself. Well, the Labor have retained the seat, but there was quite a swing. The primary vote went back about 11%. Liberals didn't do too well. They got about 20% of the primary vote. This is the seat that Ian Cook from iCook has run in, so he got around 20% as well. I mean, the state of Victoria, I mean, you've got the debt, you've got all the corruption issues, but what happened to Ian Cook, can I just briefly say?
Yeah,
well, we
absolutely.
had that vindication in part in court where it was found that his business was shut down incorrectly. This thriving business that employed dozens of people destroyed. No compensation. That was the ruling. No, this is the state of justice in Victoria. And, yep, we've got another Labor person in there. Meanwhile, Dan Andrews is unwanted across the Mornington Peninsula's golf courses. This is a story that's just dominating Victoria with some of his billionaire mates are trying to get him membership to several golf clubs. He loves his golf, and the folks down there, they've got better memories than he had.
Hang on, Rita. I'm sorry, but Dan Andrews should not be playing golf. Haven't you guys seen the headlines about COVID being on the rise? We know that according to Dan Andrews, golf spreads COVID. He should be staying home. Where's his mask, Rita?
Well, I haven't seen him wear a mask on a golf course yet. So
Now, I also want to, Rita, I'm just confused here because. Clearly, the strength of the Liberal Party in Victoria, the strength of the opposition, I'm surprised that they didn't win this seat. I mean, you've got Dan Andrews, one of the worst premiers in Australian history, and the Liberal Party, please fill me in here.
Well,
I'm at a loss.
We had another by-election a few months ago, and you might remember the Liberals said that was a new dawn for the party. They were going to walk into government. They won that by-election in Warrandyte because Labor didn't run. So the Liberals have found the formula in Victoria. If they want to get elected with someone like a John Pesutto as their leader, a smaller Liberal bedwetter who stands for nothing, he's still backing the treaty, by the way. He hasn't even walked away from that.
No, you're joking. You're joking.
No,
seriously.
No. He somehow at the last minute said he was against the voice, but he's still for a treaty.
How does that work?
Try to work that out.
Speaking of the treaty, James, there's a nice segue there.
Fascinating little poll here, and I think it's really interesting, Rita, that you were talking about, a party leader who doesn't believe anything, and I think we can contrast that to Peter Dutton on the national level, who had that resounding victory for the No campaign. Everybody said no. I think it was 61-39 at the end of the day. Resounding defeat for that. The polls now show, this is a Fairfax 9 poll, that support for treaty and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or whatever it is, has slid to around a third. So even the yes voters are now turning away from that.
But that headline we just saw from the Sydney Morning Herald is saying that, no, Peter Dutton should not be reading too much into the
vote. Of course not.
That's what they're terrified of.
They are terrified. And the Guardian's having a full-blown...
Have you noticed the way that, by the way, the press is now so terrified of Peter Dutton because he had a huge win this week. I think we've got to note the very big win on immigration. But you could look at the press and you see the commentators and they're all saying, oh, well, here comes the big Peter Dutton tough guy campaign that shows that they're absolutely terrified. Catherine Murphy in The Guardian is having an absolute heart attack over this.
Fantastic. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, she's just saying, that here comes the big, she calls him Daddy Dutton, which is pretty interesting thing to call him. But anyway, I'll leave that to the viewers' imaginations. But there's now this sort of sense among left-wing commentators that we've got this sort of muscular Peter Dutton tough guy, and they're trying to tear down that image as all being just this sort of conservative scare-em act. But of course, no, actually what he's doing is what an opposition leader should do, and he's being effective, I think, at it. And if he keeps it up, he's going to take a lot of paint off Labor at the next election.
Absolutely. He's going to win the next election. I keep telling everybody, you can put your money on it now. He's going to win the next election. I guarantee. Seriously, if you have a strong opposition leader with strong convictions who stays true to the course, ignores Simon Birmingham. If Simon Birmingham, Peter walks down the corridor towards you, go blah, 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 until he's gone past.